Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Myra from Low Carb Love, and today we're gonna be going over the top 5 keto mistakes when starting keto. So before you get started, mark your calendars. I'm gonna be hosting a challenge with Fast Coach. It's a 5-day ketosis challenge. This is gonna be a great way for you to get started. If you're starting keto or you've been a bit wishy-washy, you gained some weight over quarantine like I did, then this is a great way to basically just like head into 2021 on the right foot. I wanna start this year off strong, and this is gonna be the perfect way. So make sure you download the app, go onto my challenge. You'll see it on there. It says Low Carb Love and Myra. Join, and then we will start January 11th. So again, make sure mark your calendars and let's do this together. Okay, so mistake number 1 is not tracking your macros. So that's crucial and super important when you're first starting a ketogenic diet, because you've basically been eating carbs your entire life, and it's gonna be a bit of an adjustment for you to get down to 20 net carbs. So the best way for you to know that you are doing it right is to track your macros. Now you can use an application. We have, I think there's like MyFitnessPal, there's also Carb Tracker. I'm sure there's a few others out there, but those are the 2 that I know. And basically you're just gonna put everything in there, your morning coffee, because everything adds up. I know you're like, oh, 20 net carbs, I got this, no problem. But to be honest with you, if you're doing like heavy cream, you want to calculate that as 0.5. Even though the carton says 0 net carbs, everything has traces of carbs, and at the end of the day, they add up. So if you calculate 0.5 per tablespoon, and you're using, like 4 tablespoons, then obviously that would add up to 2 carbs. So, little things like that you don't usually think about when you're first starting off. So that's tip number 1, or the mistake that I see most often, is not tracking your carbs when you're first starting. So mistake number 2 that I see happen all too often is people eating way too many keto treats. And don't get me wrong, we can still have our treats and our desserts and all of that. It's perfect, but you have to treat it as so. It's a treat. Our 20 net carbs should be coming from non-starchy veggies, okay? So you're gonna get your carbs from your broccoli, your asparagus, spinach, from all your veggies, salads, things of that nature. But of course, on the days where you do want to splurge and you make one of my delicious desserts, of course, you enjoy it and it's great, and then you move on. But remember, you're gonna treat your desserts and all of those sweets, you're gonna treat them as an actual treat, not something that you'd have every single day and as much of it as you want because it's keto, okay? Especially if your goal is to lose weight. So moving on to mistake number 3 is dairy. Now, I am someone that can tolerate dairy. I can eat cheese, heavy cream, yogurts, things of that nature, and still thrive on a keto diet. As long as I kind of buckle down and track my carbs, then I will lose weight. Of course, like everyone, I'm not, special. If I go a little overboard, then I will stall and even gain weight. So it's definitely possible to gain weight on keto. But we'll leave that for another time. Right now, a mistake that I see is people having way too much dairy, way too much heavy cream, too much cheese. And sometimes you don't know that your body is a bit sensitive to it. So you want to be mindful of that. If you're going to make, let's say your morning coffee, you don't need half cup of heavy cream. You just don't need it. Have a few tablespoons. You can have some almond milk and then add a little bit of heavy cream to it. Great, you'll have a coffee that's nice and creamy, but you're not gonna go overboard. Same scenario with cheese. Cheese, you can have cheese. I have cheese almost daily, but I'm mindful of it. I don't go and make some crazy, even if I'm having like, what do you call them? Like a cheese crisp, that'll be like my cheese for the day. I don't go crazy on it. I'm still very mindful. I'm mindful across the board. I'm mindful of calories. I'm mindful of carbs. So one of the things that I would say is just be careful with how much dairy and cheese you consume. I would say if you hit a stall and you're at a point where you're like, what's going on? And that you definitely have like a lot of heavy cream in your coffee or in your recipes, try cutting them out for a few days. usually people that are sensitive to dairy, when they cut it out, boom, the scale drops right away. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you're there, try it out and, you know, let me know if that's something that works for you, because I'm sure a lot of people would want to hear that. So always, if you have any comments, anything that's worked for you, please comment down below. You can help a lot of people by sharing your tips with everyone as well, okay? So let's move on to the next mistake. So mistake number 4 is not supplementing electrolytes. Now, when you're on a low carb diet, your body just naturally releases electrolytes and minerals. So the best thing to do is to replenish them. So I take Keto Beam, they're my favorite. I've been taking them for years, and I do the electrolytes and minerals. I will link them in the description below so you can check them out. I also have a discount code, which is Low Carb Love, and I feel amazing. The electrolytes just are gonna keep you feeling like yourself. You're not gonna get the headaches, you're not going to feel sluggish, and the minerals are great because we don't always get the minerals that we need from our food. So that's just, it's a great combo. I take them both daily, and they're absolutely, you know, it's just, they're a great option. So I will link those. So just to recap, when you are on a low carb diet, your body will naturally release electrolytes and minerals, so you need to replenish them. So that is definitely a big mistake, and a lot of people get discouraged because of how they're feeling. So make sure that if you're getting started, you supplement your electrolytes, okay? Now, mistake number 5 is sweeteners. So sweeteners are a big deal in the keto space because obviously we don't eat sugar. So all of our recipes that are sweet, desserts, things like that, we use a sugar substitute. Now, there are some that are really bad, like maltitol and dextrose, and I'm sure there's a few others, but there are some chocolates like, you know, Russell Stover's and like the Reese's and Hershey's. They don't use like a sweetener that I would use. They use like maltitol and things like that, and they can cause like gastric distress, where you're gonna have like a stomach ache and like diarrhea. I know, TMI, but anyway, it can cause some pretty crazy side effects. A better option would be something like allulose, like a monk fruit sweetener, erythritol, stevia. Those are all substitutes that should be a lot easier on your stomach. I've become really sensitive to sweeteners now. I don't know if my body has just changed over time, but it's happened, and that's where we're at right now. So I really try to limit my sweets and do things like that. Even though I have a really big sweet tooth, I try to do things that are a little easier on my stomach, like stevia if I'm using like a drink. And allulose for now has been okay for me. Monk fruit and erythritol are too. I just still have to limit them. If not, I get like really bloated and things like that. So mind you, one thing with sweeteners is that they can also cause a stall, because people become sensitive to them. So always just keep that in mind. You know, if you have a ton of sweeteners in your, you know, everyday life, and you're stalling and you're like, wait, but I'm doing everything right, like why am I not seeing the scale move? Then you might want to try to eliminate that and see if that has been the issues. Okay, so those are my 5 top mistakes. I hope they were super helpful. Comment down below and let me know any mistakes that you've made that you wish you would have known at the beginning of your journey, because honestly, those little tips help people out so much, and I would love for everyone to be able to see that. Now, don't forget about the challenge. It's January 11th. Let's do this together. Make sure you download the app and go join my challenge today. I will see you guys on January 11th. And after you download the app, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Make sure that your post notifications are turned on so that you don't miss any of my videos. And also, if you want additional content, you need more of me, make sure that you're following me on Instagram and also on TikTok. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I love you, and I will see you on the next video. Mwah.